What's up, ladies? Hello, hello, hello. All right, let's talk through refeeds, right? Cheat meals, refeeds, diet breaks. This is a question that we've been getting a lot lately, and so let's really provide some clarity. Make sure you are in our free Facebook group, Macro Tracking and Weightlifting for Women. We share tons of insights, tips, tricks, research reviews, like really just helping you live a healthy, fit lifestyle in a way that you can maintain for the rest of your life, grow your beautiful muscle mass, and just learn how to take care of your body, right, in a really healthy and safe way. All right, beauties, say hi as you're coming on so I can acknowledge that you're here. I'm going to give you just a second before I dive in because there is a lot of meat and potatoes here. And I know with Facebook's new rules, I can't stream straight to the group, so it takes you guys a little bit longer to get on. So I'm going to give you just a second. What's up? Okay, cool. Refeeds, refeeds, refeeds. Okay, so first of all, I want to say it's really easy after hearing this to say, oh, that's what I need. I need a refeed. Refeeds are awesome and they're fun. And of course, we want them because we can eat more. Before you do that, before you feel like this is a solution, you must nail down your habits. Okay, getting into compliance every single day, filling your foods with high quality food, balance and spacing your meals, right? If you need help with any of those or are wondering what that is, send me a message or just drop a comment and I'll walk you through what those are, okay? All right, so if you're needing a refeed, here are some things you may be feeling. You may be feeling tired. You may be feeling like you can't push very hard in the gym. You may be feeling like, oh, I just don't know if I can diet much longer. And when I say diet, I never mean a fad diet. I mean you're in a deficit. Okay. For this video, when I say diet, I'm referring to you being in a deficit, eating less than your body needs to maintain. That's how we get rid of fat. Okay. You may just be feeling really lethargic, like your mood might be down a little bit, like you're just not feeling optimal. Okay. Let's see. I think I said all this. Yeah. So it's like you're just needing a kick to perform in the gym and to just like feel better. Okay. So what's causing the problem here? A few things. And again, this is assuming your habits are on point. So a few things could be that you're too aggressive into a deficit. So you're eating too little. That's very common for a lot of you actually, right? Another thing is like you may have been in your deficit for too long. So you've just been dieting forever. Okay. Those are really the two main reasons why you would need a refeed. Okay. Now, actually, I won't jump ahead of myself. Okay. Now, how is this different than a cheat meal? A cheat meal is not structured. A cheat meal is almost like a free for all. It might be one meal, it might be one day, but it's not structured. I am never a proponent of cheat meals. I don't think they're wise at all. Again, because of the lack of structure and because it's just promoting this like ravenous animal inside of us to just like eat whatever we want. Usually they cause more harm than good. Women who really go all out in a cheat meal, which they might not even realize they're doing it. They're like, oh, it's not that much calories, but it's like, dude, if you're going out to eat, the amount of fat that you can't see is like ridiculous. 500 calories sometimes. For a lot of you, that's a ton of calories, right? So that cheat meal can actually pull you out of your deficit for the entire week. And then you're like, I'm plateaued. It's like, no, you're not. You just way overate in your cheat meal. So that's why I don't recommend them. There's no data to control. And so there's no real way to know what's going on. A refeed is usually putting you back into maintenance, high carb, right? Putting you back into maintenance. So you have this energy balance, right? What you're burning versus what you're consuming. So you're balanced, okay? What happens when you're in a deficit, especially for too long, or especially an aggressive deficit, is your body has a metabolic adaptation. What that means is like, okay, I'm talking as my body. Okay, I'm not eating that much, so I need to burn less. I need to slow down my metabolism because like I'm just not getting fed that much. Many women destroy their metabolism over the years eating 1,200 calorie diets, right? So you can totally restore it. It takes a bit of time. It takes reverse dieting. It takes a lot of mindset work, but it's very, very possible. So when you're in that deficit for too long, your metabolism starts to adapt to a lower rate, a lower resting metabolic rate. We don't want that. We want a high metabolic rate, because that resting metabolic rate is how many calories you're burning doing nothing. When you have muscle mass from strength training, your resting metabolic rate increases. Women ask me all the time, how are you eating 2,700 calories and you're losing body fat every single week? I'm like, I got a ton of muscle mass. I've been training 15 years, right? On video, clients have told me, you look so small. You look like, 5'2". I'm like, homie, I'm 5'8". Like, I am actually a pretty big human. If you saw me in person, I think the video just doesn't show that very well, right? So the more muscle mass and I'm about to have a calorie increase, thank God. But the more muscle mass we have, the more we burn at rest. So an amazing thing. Cardio does not do that for you. Okay, by the way, focus on strength training. Okay. So when you do a refeed, which can be like 2 days, for example, a 2-day refeed, where you bring your carbohydrates up, bring your calories to maintenance, you do a 2-day refeed, it helps essentially like go around your body's natural defense mechanism to dieting. Again, I say, for those who just jumped on for this video, when I say dieting, I mean just being in a calorie deficit. Okay, we're always about sustainable living and healthy eating and things like that. So the refeed is essentially like replenishing your body with muscle glycogen, giving you more energy to perform in the gym or at home, which helps your muscles break down more, vital for growth to a point. That's another video I'll do probably tomorrow. Someone asked me for that, like overtraining. We'll talk about that. To then be able to repair. When you're in a calorie deficit for a long time, or when you're in too far of a calorie deficit, it's hard to train hard. You're tired. You don't have the energy mentally or physically to do that. So pushing you up into a refeed, your body's like, yes, I'm going to go train hard. I'm going to work hard. Your muscles break down more. You're able to rebuild your muscles more. Your muscles get bigger. Okay, so refeed can really help with that. A refeed also helps your mind, because you're pulling yourself out of a deficit. You're in energy balance or maintenance, right? Which makes it much easier to adhere to your nutrition plan. So it's not just about the physical benefits, it's also about the mental benefits. Okay, let me follow my notes, because sometimes I can tangent so much. I want to make sure that I'm like, this is a pretty dense topic for a lot of people. So I want to be really as clear as humanly possible. Yeah, cool. So just to repeat what I said, so a refeed can essentially like boost your metabolism in a way. This is why, ladies, those who are eating 1,200 calorie diets, who suddenly start eating a lot more, and they're like, how am I losing so much weight? It's like, because you took a stressor off your body and it felt safe to drop the body fat. Some people say, oh, you're in starvation mode. Your body's going to cling to fat and you're not going to release it. What they're actually saying is there's too much stress on your body. The stressors are too high. You're in fight or flight. Your body will be very resistant to releasing fat in that state. Okay. A refeed sends your body a signal to say, I'm safe. I can actually go ahead and release that body fat. Refeeds are awesome. They are fun, but you also have to practice self-discipline, ladies, in refeeds, because you'll probably want to go into the surplus. And it's okay for some women to go into the surplus, but start at maintenance, okay, and see how your body responds first. Okay, cool. All right, let me see what else I did not say. Yeah, I already said this, so I'll say it again. The refeed overrides your metabolic adaptation response when energy is returned to balance. Let me say that another way in layman's terms. A refeed helps your body keep your metabolism running really efficiently because you're eating at maintenance. Okay? Let me know if you have questions on that. There are no stupid questions, so please, any and all questions or points of clarification or anything, please feel free to share it in the comments. If you're uncomfortable sharing it in the comments, shoot me a message. We'll talk about it. All right, cool. So refeeds are like interrupting your dieting. It's interrupting your deficit, and it's like giving your body all this food, and then you have all this energy to train, and then mentally you're like, yep, sweet, let's do it. Let's go back into the deficit. I'm good. They can be really, really, really effective. The other thing too, after a carbohydrate refeed, which definitely when we're lifting weights, I mean, I think that would be one of the, not the only, I guess, marathon runners, but you definitely want to focus on high carbohydrate refeeds, okay? Because that's your body's primary fuel source. That's where you're getting your energy from. When you do a carbohydrate refeed, leptin can be high. That's a hormone that helps you feel full. It helps you maintain a healthy weight. It helps suppress your appetite. So that's a very good benefit in addition to what we've already talked about to a carbohydrate refeed, okay? Cool. Now, here's the cool thing. So I looked at a research study for weightlifters who had a refeed and who were in a sustained energy deficit. Now, really quick on this, ladies, as a reminder, because I know there's new people on now, if you are not like 7 out of 7 compliant each week, which you should be, it's not that hard. You just commit to it. You just decide, I'm compliant. That's it. I'm not going to try to be compliant. I'm just going to hit my macros. That's it, right? If you are not compliant, you really don't need a refeed. A, because your body can't regulate because you're not compliant, right? But also, if you're not compliant, I guarantee you're naturally going into maintenance and probably often a surplus. So there's no purpose for this until you get compliant over time, okay? Those who are very compliant, what we saw in this study is the refeed helped retain muscle mass. It's kind of a duh, right? Because you have more food, your metabolism stays high, your body still says, I feel safe to release body fat, but also you have more energy to break down your muscle mass and more energy to repair your muscle mass, i.e. you're building muscle mass. You build muscle on maintenance, right? But also those in the refeed group, their metabolic rate stayed higher. Also kind of a duh, right? With what we've talked about. Well, why is that? Because as a reminder, the refeed is going around your body's defense mechanism to dieting and saying, no, we're good, don't worry about it. You can keep dropping fat, see, we're feeding. Ha, 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 now I'm in a deficit, lose the weight. Oh, don't worry, now I'm back in a refeed. It's actually really effective. But also, typically after 5 days of being in a deficit, you start to see metabolic adaptation. So putting that refeed in there can help avoid the metabolic adaptation and keep your resting metabolic rate high. Does that make sense? So the refeed can help your metabolism stay really, really efficient, keep you burning lots of energy, even when you drop down into that deficit. So there's a few different strategies that you can do. And this isn't for everybody. Some women, there's so much stress happening in their life that they just want to eat the same macros every day, 7 days a week, and that's okay. Honestly, our clients see like a pound fat loss every single week with this method. I mean, it's very effective. So don't feel like you have to do this. This is just one option, okay? What you can also do is a 5-2 split. I don't want to confuse you too much. There's a lot of strategy, a lot of different strategy in a 5-2 split, a lot of different strategy. The refeed 5-2 split would look like 2 days at maintenance, high carb, and then 5 days in a deficit. 2 days at maintenance, 5 days in a deficit. Now, if you look at your calories over a week, your deficit for the 5 days will be lower than if you had flatlined macros, which is 7 days per week. Does that make sense? Because 2 days are higher. So you need to have like the same calories over the week. Okay. Here's the other thing though. Don't do it on the weekend on your rest days. You want to do it on like leg day, on your high volume training days, because we want to put that food to use, not just like put it in your body and then you're chilling by the pool all day. right? We want to put that on shoulder day and on glute day, for example, or if you're building your quads, put that food and that fuel to use. Food is not, I was going to say our slave. We are not a slave to food. Food is a phenomenal tool to use for a purpose, right? I want to build and shape my body. I want to be the healthiest I've ever been. I want to be most physically able than I've ever been. I want to have maximum amount of energy throughout the day. Food and resistance training can absolutely achieve that for you. But if you look at food as you're my pleasure, don't do refeed yet. Let's work on habits and mindset first, okay? Because this can get tricky if the mindset and the habit is not in the right space for it. But someone specifically, a couple people requested this topic, so I'm sharing it. But it is a very advanced topic, okay? So just check yourself. Okay, let me check my notes. Yep. So we talked about emphasizing carbohydrate. Yeah, all right. So here is the other thing. We talk about ranges, macro ranges sometimes. We've talked about like a really solid and high, this is considered high protein, is 2.0 to 2.4 grams of protein per kilogram body mass, kilogram, okay? You can we typically only go as low as 1.8. If you're like over 300 pounds, maybe over 250 pounds, you may need to go down to 1.6, just depending on your body, okay? In a refeed, that was just a side note, in a refeed for carbohydrate, 6 to 8 grams of carbohydrate per kilogram body mass is a really good starting point. Remember, we're doing a refeed for like 2 days, not 10. Okay, not every day. This is like 2 days. That's a lot of carbohydrate for some of you. Right now, every day, I'm eating almost 6 grams per kilogram body mass. Almost every day. Almost 400 grams of carbohydrate per day. Those of you eating like 120, this might not, you might not be ready for that yet. So maybe going to 3 grams of carb per kilogram, maybe 4, maybe 5. If you're ready for 6 or 8, let's get it. But be cautious. You don't just want to like increase by 120 grams of carbohydrate because you're going to balloon up and freak out because you don't feel good, right? So slow and steady always wins the race. We always want to err on the side of caution, so we're not digging ourselves out of a hole, right? Always err on the side of caution. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast, okay? For those who have a fear of carbohydrate, it is time to get over that because that is coming from fad diets and marketing ploys. We need carbohydrate to build, to be fit, to have energy, to stay in shape, to be physically able, because when you're reducing carbohydrate, muscle mass growth, growing your muscle is really inefficient. It's really inefficient. Don't work against yourself, right? Let's work smarter, not harder. If you're low carb, you're working harder to gain muscle mass than someone who's eating the right amount of carb for their body. Isn't that crazy? Never listen to fat diets. They mess with the brain. It's so messed up. Okay. All right, cool. Ladies, any questions? That was a lot. Any questions that you want to talk about, think through, hear again? Please share. And let's talk through it, okay? I'm hoping for a refeed here shortly. Because why do I feel like I need a refeed? I'm feeling tired. I can't push as hard in the gym. I can tell my mood is a little bit lower. I'm in a meeting today and I'm like, my eyes are going, my eyes are like starting to go like this. I'm like, oh my gosh. Now, why not just increase macros, right? I'm hoping to, but I'm training for a specific goal, right? I'm training for a very specific goal and getting down to a very low body fat percentage. Energy restriction is required to lose fat. It's just the nature of the beast, right? Okay, ladies, cool. I don't see any questions or comments. Cool. Ladies, if you want help to create the fit, fierce, feminine body and be told what to do and not have to figure this all out, but just be able to show up, know what to do, and learn how to be flexible and enjoy summer and enjoy life, but also feel really fit and healthy in your body, comment coaching. We have a few spots for June. We have a few spots for July. We'd love to chat through it with you to make sure we're a good fit for each other and to help you finally achieve every goal you've ever wanted and not have the trial and error. Let's just get there. Let's help your mind get in the right space. Let's do what's best for your body. Let's learn how to master your nutrition so you can look and feel how you want to and enjoy your fit, healthy body for the rest of your life. So if that's you, comment coaching, I'll reach out and we'll talk about it. All right, ladies, beautiful. Have a great day. I hope that was super helpful. And if anything, I hope that was interesting, right? Just hearing that. So, okay, see you, ladies.